Hi everybody, Creative Katie Karen Burchill here. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do something that I don't often do anymore. I'm going to create on a tag. Creating on tags is great when you're short on time, but you want to have a little play in your art room. I'm going to be working with a simple color scheme of turquoise and yellow ochre. At the end of the video, I'm going to review all the steps. There are 9 using my art journal process cards. These cards are available as a digital download at NINNYSNAPKINS.com. There's a link and a coupon code in the description box below. So go check it out. So here's my tag, and what I'm going to break my tag with is these sticker paper scraps that I've put leftover paint on, I've stenciled, I've stamped on them, and they were sitting in my stash. And I am determined this year I'm going to use them or lose them. But how easy is this? I just have to rip it, pull off the backing, and stick it down. Now, these are, I think, Amazon brand, and they're really good. I don't even need to use matte medium at all to help stick it down. If your stickers don't stick down, you might want to put a layer of adhesive on it as well. I'm just moving the color around, layering these up. This is setting my color scheme. This is where I got the idea from. It's also going to add some texture and some pattern to the page. Very quick and easy. Tags are a great thing to take on a create date or when you're traveling. So for the next step, I want to add some texture. So I grab this stencil from the Crafter's Workshop. It's got stars, kind of honeycomb and circles, and I'm just putting on some of the circles right across some of that sticker paper. I'm going to get this in a couple places. My preferred way of putting on modeling paste is using a key card. I just have the most success with that. So if you struggle putting on modeling paste, give that a try. I hope it works for you. Now, once the modeling paste is on there, I actually end up going and doing something else and giving that good time to dry. But you can use a heat tool to dry it up. Loving that texture. It's also knocking back some of the collage papers that I used in the back. So now I'm rubbing a little bit of gesso. This is just kind of softening any harsh edges there are, putting white down, and then I'm going to grab the turquoise and the yellow ochre and add a base coat of color, jumping off from the colors of the collage papers, the sticker paper that I broke the page with. I love the combination of turquoise and the yellow ochre. So here I'm just taking the paint right out of the tube and using my fingers to just apply it down there. Between the texture that's added with the sticker paper and the texture from the modeling paste, this background is full of interest. Remember, it's a small space, so you don't want to do too much because you're not going to be able to see it. Remember, you're going to put a focal image on there somewhere. Tags are great. Like I said, you can get it done. This whole tag took well under 30 minutes for me to make, and that includes drying time. So you can feel accomplished, do something every day if you work small. So now I'm just adding some of the turquoise paint in here. And it's not exact match to the color that the sticker paper was, so I'm just kind of tweaking the colors. Remember, the first layer is just the jumping off point. It's the beginning. It's lots of changes can happen throughout the process. on camera, on screen here, this is looking very greenish turquoise, whereas in real life it's more blue tone. If I wanted to add more white space, I could just add more gesso on top once it's dry, and that would add or reintroduce the white space. I liked how this was going. So now I want to put a focal image, and I have this crazy dog. It's a Tim Holtz stamp. I've got the cats, the dogs, the birds. I love them all. I use them so much. But as I'm looking at this, the dog looks like it's kind of floating. The tag is too big for it. So I decide I'm going to give it some weight. I'm going to give it something to ground it, so to speak. So I grab this lid that I have that I use as a tracer and my Stabilo all pencil, and I draw the line and then activate it and add some black acrylic paint shading to just make up that half circle. And since I have the black paint on my brush, I edge the card as well. Then, now you can see I have the dog. He looks like he's sitting or standing on that half circle. And I cut out a sentiment from my Courage sentiment pack, which is also available at NINNYSNAPKINS.com. I have, oh, probably over a dozen sentiment packs. So if you're looking for words, maybe you should go digital. I'm gluing this down with fluid matte medium, or actually gel medium here, because there's a lot of texture on that page. Remember that modeling paste? I prefer to use gel medium when there's a lot of texture or what I'm gluing down is heavier weight paper. Somewhere in there, I also stamped with black acrylic paint those black dots. I decided to paint his nose red, but then I thought, well, he's not Rudolph, so I grabbed some black and paint it black just so it matches. I was much happier with the black nose. And then I'm still using my angle brush. I'm just doing a little bit of shading, but I've decided to keep my stamped image black and white. I'm just letting the colors of the background shine through, but the shading really adds a little bit to the focal image, makes it stand out a little bit more. I'm grabbing my black Posca pen and I'm just going to outline the sentiment. And we are done. So let's go over the steps. So first, I did some collaging. I didn't use gel prints. I used basically collage papers that were on that sticker paper. Then I put modeling paste through a stencil. That's going to add some texture to the tag. Next, I built up the color. I added more color. I put it where I wanted it, jumping off from where the collage papers were. I added weight to the focal by putting that half circle and shading around it. Then I edged the page or the tag. I stamped with acrylic paint. That's what the black dots are. And I used black, so I built contrast in. I used a stamped image for my focal image. I added a sentiment. And then I shaded the focal image. Thanks so much for joining me. Now tag, you're it.